The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was not convincing the world he didn't exist. It was convincing the world that he's only one person. Ask any Christian, any moviegoer, or any child on the street, who is the ruler of hell? They will tell you it is Satan. Ask them who fell from heaven. They will say it was Lucifer. Ask them who tempted Eve in the Garden of Eden. They will say it was the devil. We use these names interchangeably. Lucifer, Satan, the devil, Beelzebub, the dragon. We stitch them together into a single, terrifying entity. A fallen angel who rebelled against God, was cast down, and now rules over the lake of fire. But what if I told you that this story is a lie? What if I told you that for thousands of years, Lucifer and Satan were completely different entities, that in the original Hebrew texts, they had nothing to do with each other, and that Lucifer isn't even a proper name, but a translation error that became a legend? To understand the truth, we must peel back the layers of tradition, mistranslation, and poetic fiction. We must go back to the ancient clay tablets of Babylon, the scroll of Isaiah, and the courtroom of the Hebrew god. Tonight, on Nocturne Demonology, we separate the light from the darkness. We are going to conduct a forensic investigation into the identity of the enemy. This is the untold history of Lucifer versus Satan. Let us begin with a name that signifies beauty and tragedy, Lucifer. If you open a modern Bible to the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 12, you might read, "How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn." In the Latin Vulgate, translated by Saint Jerome in the 4th century, the Hebrew phrase Helel ben Shahar was translated into Lucifer. But here is the shock. Lucifer was never a name. It is a Latin title. It comes from two words, lux, meaning light, and ferre, meaning to bring. It literally means the light bringer. In Roman astronomy, Lucifer was not a demon. It was the name for the planet Venus when it appeared in the morning sky before the sun. Venus is the brightest object in the sky after the sun and moon. It rises proudly, heralding the dawn, but it is quickly outshined by the true sun. So, who was Isaiah talking about? He wasn't talking about a fallen angel. He was mocking a human king. The prophet Isaiah was writing a taunt against the king of Babylon. This king was arrogant. He thought he could ascend above the stars of God, that he could be greater than the Most High. But like the morning star Venus that fades when the sun rises, this king was destined to fall and die like a mortal man. For centuries, this text was understood as a political metaphor. But as history moved on, the metaphor was taken literally. The king of Babylon became the king of demons. The morning star falling from the sky became the archangel cast down to the pit. The Lucifer of the original text is not a monster. He is a symbol of hubris. He is the archetype of blinding beauty that destroys itself. He represents the intellectual rebel, the one who brings illumination, even if that illumination burns him alive. Now we turn to the darker figure. If Lucifer is the light bringer, who is Satan? To find him, we must look at the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament. And here, the picture is radically different. In Hebrew, the word is ha, Satan. Note the article ha. It means they. It is not a name like John or Michael. It is a job title. It means the adversary, the accuser, or the obstacle. In the ancient Hebrew worldview, there was no devil fighting a war against God. God was all-powerful. He didn't have a rival. So, the Satan was actually an employee of God. Look at the book of Job. This is the oldest appearance of the figure. The Sani is set in the divine council. The sons of God present themselves before the Lord, and among them comes the Satan. God asks him, "Where have you come from?" And the Satan replies, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." Here, the Satan acts like a heavenly prosecutor. He is the cosmic spy. His job is to wander the earth, find humans who claim to be righteous, and test their loyalty. He challenges God about Job's faith. He says, "Job only loves you because you made him rich. Let me take away his wealth, and he will curse you." God grants him permission. Do you see the difference? This Satan is not a rebel. He needs God's permission to act. He is a function of the divine justice system. He is the one who does the dirty work. He is the cold, unfeeling arm of judgment. He is not evil. He is necessary. He is the obstacle that tests the strength of your soul. So we have Lucifer, the arrogant king representing the falling star. And we have Satan, the divine prosecutor representing the test of faith. How did they become the red dragon with 7 heads? This transformation happened during the intertestamental period, the centuries between the Old and New Testaments. During this time, the Jewish people were suffering under Greek and Roman occupation. They began to view the world differently. They couldn't believe that their suffering came from God. They needed an enemy, a cosmic villain to blame for the evil in the world. This is when the literature of the Watchers appeared, most notably in the Book of Enoch. It told stories of angels who descended to earth, slept with human women, and taught mankind forbidden knowledge like weapon making and sorcery. Then came Christianity. The early Christians needed a powerful antagonist for Christ. If Jesus was the ultimate good, there had to be an ultimate evil. In the book of Revelation, written by John of Patmos, the imagery explodes. We see a great red dragon sweeping a third of the stars from the sky. We see the ancient serpent. It is here that the merger begins. The falling star of Isaiah is combined with the dragon of Revelation. The prosecutor of Job is fired from his job and cast down to earth. By the Middle Ages, the transformation was complete. The Church Fathers, seeking to explain the origin of evil, stitched these disparate threads together. They decided that the prideful Lucifer was the angel's name before he fell, and Satan was his name after he fell. The beautiful light bringer became the Prince of Darkness. The duality was collapsed into singularity. But the image of the devil you have in your head right now, the red skin, the horns, the bat wings, the pitchfork, or the charming, handsome rebel, that didn't come from the Bible. That came from fan fiction. 2 massive works of literature defined the modern devil, Dante's Inferno and Milton's Paradise Lost. In the 14th century, Dante Alighieri described Satan not as a ruler, but as a prisoner. In the deepest circle of hell, frozen in a lake of ice, sits a gigantic, 3-headed beast. He is mindless, weeping, eternally chewing on traitors. This stripped Satan of his cunning. He was just a monster. But in 1667, John Milton changed everything with Paradise Lost. Milton gave us the Lucifer we love to fear. He gave the devil a personality. Milton's Lucifer is a tragic Shakespearean anti-hero. He is eloquent, he is proud. He utters the most famous line in infernal history: "Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven." Milton's Lucifer is not ugly. He is described as having faded splendor. He is a ruined monument. This romanticized version of the devil captured the human imagination. It made us sympathize with the rebel. It made Lucifer the symbol of individualism against authority. Most of what we think we know about demonology today is actually Miltonology. We are worshipping a poet's invention. This brings us to the present day. In the secret circles of the occult, in the lodges of demonolatry and left-hand path magic, the distinction between Lucifer and Satan has been restored. For the modern practitioner, they are not the same entity. They represent different currents of energy. Lucifer is viewed as the aspect of air and enlightenment. He is the Promethean spirit. He is the higher self. When a magician calls upon Lucifer, they are seeking knowledge, wisdom, ascension, and liberation from dogma. He is the spark of divinity within the human mind. He is the light, Satan. On the other hand, is viewed as the aspect of fire or earth and the resistance. He is the current of adversity that strengthens the will. He represents the carnal, the material, the primal instincts, and the rejection of servitude. He is the challenge. To confuse them is to confuse the teacher with the tester. One brings the lamp to light your path. The other digs the pit to see if you can climb out. They may work in tandem, but they are distinct frequencies on the spiritual spectrum. So, why does this matter? Why split hairs over ancient names? Because names have power, and knowing the true name of a thing is the first step to understanding it. By merging Lucifer and Satan, we created a caricature, a cartoon villain that is easy to dismiss. But when we separate them, we see the two great struggles of the human condition. The struggle of Lucifer, the desire for knowledge, the pain of awareness, and the price of ambition. And the struggle of Satan, the necessity of hardship, the battle against the odds, and the forging of the self through adversity. Perhaps they are not demons at all. Perhaps they are mirrors. When we look into the face of the morning star, we see our own desire to be gods. And when we look into the face of the adversary, we see our own fear of being judged. The history of the devil is, in the end, the history of us. Thank you for joining this investigation into the archives of Nocturne Demonology. If you are ready to explore deeper, to look past the masks of the 72 spirits, subscribe to the channel. Next week, we return to the Ars Goetia to summon a king who rides a pale horse. Until then, walk in the light, but respect the darkness.